Assalamu alaikum. My name is Akif Nawaz. I welcome you all to Literature with Khalil. And in today's class, we're going to talk about the use of semicolons, and we'll be talking about some of the common errors. And at the end, we'll be discussing some of the tips and tricks so as to use semicolons in a proper and better way in order to enhance our writing skills. So, our topic of discussion is to use semicolons first. But before that, we need to know what semicolons are and what are the usages of it. So let's talk about them in detail. So as you are seeing it now on your screens, that there are two important things when it comes to the use of semicolons. So first of all, it is used when it comes to independent clauses, but those independent clauses must be closely related to each other. So when we are joining two independent clauses and those independent clauses are closely related to each other, so that is where we use semicolons. And the next usage is that it separate items in a complex list. Means जब एक सेंटेंस हो उसमें एक लिस्ट हमें गिवन हो और वो कॉम्प्लेक्स हो, सो उन कॉम्प्लेक्स लिस्ट को एक दूसरे से सेपरेट करने के लिए, मीनिंग को अच्छे तरीके से पास ऑन करने के लिए we use semicolon. So हम कह सकते हैं कि when independent clauses which are closely related to each other, and the second of all is that when we have complex list in a sentence, so they will use this as well. The next thing is semicolons can greatly improve your writing by linking closely related ideas and clarifying complex lists. So it will enhance your writing skills, and at the same time it will make your writing look more better. Now let's talk about its usages, that it links two independent clauses. Now as you can see in the heading, that when it comes to two independent clauses, we use semicolons. So use a semicolon to link two independent clauses that are closely related in thought. Now अब यहाँ पर हम इसको डिस्कस करते हैं. For example, if I have a big test tomorrow, I can't go out tonight. Now you can see that we have joined these two clauses with the help of semicolons. So now let's say whether these two are clauses or not. That's the first thing. The second thing is that whether both are closely related to each other or not. So I have a big test tomorrow. Now this is again an independent clause, means it can stand on its own without uh, being dependent on any other information. The next thing is I can't go out tonight. Again, it's an independent clause and both are closely related to each other, that because of test, I am not able to go out because I have to do my preparation. So ideologically, both are closely related to each other, and structurally, both are independent clauses. So the explanation is both clauses can stand alone as sentences, but the semicolon emphasizes their connection, that both are closely रिलेटेड टू ईच अदर. सो आई होप ये पॉइंट आपको समझ में आ गई होगी कि जब दो क्लोजली रिलेटेड क्लॉजेज हो और दोनों इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉजेज हो, सो सेमीकोलंस आर यूज्ड. नाउ लेट्स टॉक अबाउट अनदर थिंग, दैट इज क्लैरिफाइंग कॉम्प्लेक्स लिस्ट. जब हमारे पास एक लिस्ट गिवन हो, सो उसको क्लैरिफाई करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, हम इस सेमीकोलन को यूज करते हैं. अब इस सेंटेंस में आप देखें, here in this sentence we have on our trip we visited Karachi, Sindh, Lahore, Punjab, and Peshawar, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Now you can see that there is a clear difference because Sindh, Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, these are the provinces. अब यहाँ पर आप देखिए clarify करने के लिए Karachi, which is located in Sindh, then I'm talking about another part that is located in Punjab, Lahore, and another thing that is another city Peshawar, which is located in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So अगर हम इसको सिर्फ कॉमर्स के साथ एक दूसरे से अलग करें, so it shows definitely we'll have a lot of confusion. But when it comes to semicolons, so ये एक complex list है और इस complex list को हमारे पास ये मजीद अच्छी तरह क्लैरिफाई करता है. जो सिटीज है हम उनको कॉमर्स के थ्रू यहाँ पर सेपरेट करते हैं और शो करते हैं, जबकि सेमीकोलंस हमें हमारे पास एक डिटेल्ड इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड करती है, that Lahore, which is in Punjab, Peshawar, which is in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Karachi, which is in Sindh. So the semicolons clarify the separation between items that include internal commas. So internal commas के साथ भी हम semicolons को use करते हैं. Now let's talk about its another usage, that is avoiding common errors. अब फॉर एग्जांपल यूजिंग अ सेमीकोलन इंस्टेड ऑफ अ कॉलन, अब यहाँ पर हम समझेंगे कि किस तरह हमारे पास समटाइम्स हम कॉलन लगाते हैं बट वहां पर सेमीकोलन आता है. सो शी हैज वन हॉबी पेंटिंग. नाउ this is incorrect. Why? Because painting is not a complete clause, it's not an independent clause. Okay, so she has one hobby, that is painting. So semicolons will be used here. So semicolon connects closely related independent clauses, whereas painting is not a complete clause. So that is why यहाँ पर semicolon correct होगा और colon हमारे पास incorrect consider किया जाएगा. Now let's talk about another thing, that using a semicolon with a conjunction. Sometimes हम conjunction के साथ इसको use करते हैं. तो अब देखते हैं, I wanted to go but I was too tired. Now there is a conjunction. So it means that when there is a conjunction in a sentence, we're not supposed to use semicolon, rather we are supposed to use a comma. Okay, so that is another thing to keep in mind. Now let's talk about another point, that is linking unrelated clauses. मीन्स के आइडियोलॉजिकल दो क्लॉजेज एक दूसरे के साथ रिलेटेड ना हो, हम उसको यूज करते हैं. द kid is sleeping, I will eat lunch. Now look, kid is sleeping, I will eat lunch, both have nothing to do with each other, so ideologically both are separate from each other. So it's better to use a period, a full stop, so as to show that this is a complete thought, both are complete thoughts. So this the use of semicolon is incorrect here, because both are somehow not related to each other. Now let's talk about another thing, that more examples of correct usages, like for example, it was raining heavily, nevertheless we continued our hike. Now in this sentence we can see that semicolons links two closely related independent clauses with the conjunctive adverbs. So conjunctive adverbs के साथ भी हम use करते हैं, but to keep this in mind, both must be independent clauses and both must be related to each other as well. The next example is, she has lived in Paris, France, Berlin, Germany, and Tokyo, Japan. So again, this is the same thing. If you remember, we talked about a complex list in which we have to use semicolons properly. So France, Germany, and Japan, these are countries. Paris, Berlin, Tokyo, these are cities. Now let's talk about uh, some of the tips and tricks to use it. So first of all, ensure both parts of the sentences can stand alone, means both must be independent clauses. The second of all is to use semicolons for balance and emphasis. Balance और highlight करने के लिए हम use करते हैं. Avoid overuse to maintain clarity. और अपने आप से इसको हमें use नहीं करने चाहिए. So I hope कि आपको समझ आ गई होगी, and if you still have anything to ask regarding semicolons, you can write your queries in the comment section. So that's all from my side. So कुछ चीजें जो मैं रिपीट करना चाहूंगा. सबसे पहले सेमीकोलंस हम तब लगाते हैं जब दोनों इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉजेस हो और दोनों आइडियोलॉजिकली सेम हो. दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग. द सेकंड थिंग इज, हम तब इसको यूज करते हैं जब हमारे पास एक कॉम्प्लेक्स सेंटेंस हो, एक कॉम्प्लेक्स लिस्ट हो उस सेंटेंस में, तब हम एक दूसरे से इसको अलग करने के लिए हम यूज करते हैं. और साथ ही साथ, these are the tips and tricks in front of you, कि both sentences must be related to each other, सेमीकोलंस बैलेंसिंग और एम्फेसिस के लिए यूज होने चाहिए, और इसका जो ओवर यूज है और क्लैरिटी को मेंटेन करना बहुत ही मस्ट है. हमने साथ में कंजंक्शंस की बात भी की है कि कंजंक्शंस में हम नहीं यूज करते हैं, और कंजंक्टिव एडवर्ब्स के बारे में हमने बात की कि हाँ, कंजंक्टिव एडवर्ब्स में हम यूज करते हैं. So that's all from my side. If you have anything to ask, you can write your questions in the comment section. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. We'll see you in another video that will also be related to punctuation marks. So stay tuned with us, and if you like this video, do like it, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and follow our page and channel. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.